Hey guys, it's the Gundam Boy, and due to popular demand, we are going to be talking about the Epoch. So prepare your eardrums, as the Epoch needs you to listen, or you might just die. So let's get straight into it. Today we're going to be talking about its stats, its capabilities, and where it fares best on each front. If you want to get this weapon for yourself, it's on the Control Group Warbond on the first page, making it a very easy to access support weapon.
Oh, but Gundam Boy, it's in a warband, which means it's stinky.
Which reminds me of when someone said that this game was greedier than War Thunder. I'm gonna be real with you, this is way worse than $10. Don't worry, it's not an ad, I just thought that was a really funny comment that I saw. Anyways, focusing back on the nipple tip plasma launcher, the projectile of this weapon does 400 for its standard with a durable of 200, while also firing at heavy pen. Then the explosive damage does 500, with a very interesting inner radius. Looked like someone died on the keyboard. But that was only in its uncharged state. When it's charged up, it has a standard damage of 800 with a ballistic of 400, ramping up its penetration up to 5. Then the explosion itself gets buffed up to 800 as well. But if you keep liberating yourself, there's a few ways you can actually tell this weapon's ready to fire. I would tell you to use the audio cue, but the way the game's audio can just give up makes it hard to tell the difference between a fart and a charge. Rest in peace Linux and Steam Deck users. You guys can't even open the game. But Arrowhead made it much easier to fire this thing in a full charge state. Right here is how you know the weapon is ready to fire in its second mode. Then you just release. You can hold a little bit longer, but like a fart, it might explode. And the reason why you don't want to liberate yourself early with this weapon is because you have 410 seconds worth of cooldown time that you'll have to wait. And that's not even accounting for the fact that certain modifiers might make it longer. And something that everybody hates about this weapon is that you actually have to get on a knee and reload it. Otherwise, it has 5 total mags and 3 shots each. But let's take a look at the cons of this weapon. Obviously, the charge up can be bad for people. Since it's a plasma weapon, it does deal with the weighty projectiles. It's one of the few plasma weapons that are actually limited at its range, detonating before a certain distance, not allowing you to do the long-range shots that other anti-tank weapons are usually capable of. And since it has a nipple for a barrel, it doesn't exactly shoot straight all the time, and has the chance of swerving in a random direction. Now, a lot of the cons it has can be adapted over, however, there are some things that just constrict it, but it is nice to keep in mind that this is only a support weapon, which means you still have openings for backpacks, which can help elevate your gameplay. Now, I know it sounds like it's just a overall worse anti-tank weapon, but it's actually way more flexible than a lot of our other gear. The best way I like to think about it is that all expendable anti-tank weapons are expendable, and take time to recharge. So, you gotta wait. Quasar Cannon literally requires you to dance a little bit before your next shot, making you have to wait as well. And things like recoilless rifle and spear do hit harder, but they have a backpack that they're required to reload from. And unlike the other weapons, if you fuck up your first shot, you still have 2 more rounds to use on the Epoch. The Epoch sits in a place where it's more of an endurance fighter. It just doesn't hit nearly as hard as its cousins, and it still needs some space to dance against enemy units. But let's talk about how it fares on the enemy fronts. On the bot front, all the chaff units will be easily destroyed by this weapon, so we're just gonna move on. The Epoch is a great counter against Hulks, and all it takes is 1 charge shot to break off a limb, and a 2nd shot to finish them off. You could kill a Hulk in 1 shot, but you have to aim directly for the eye. If you don't one-shot him in the first blast, you could just take it down in a light shot to kill him off that way. And if you thought it was going to be any easier to kill the War Strider after they gave it medium armor on its hip joints, well, you're wrong. It's still 2 shots. And if you don't believe me, take a look for yourself. Yeah, slapping medium pen on it only really solved a small part of the problem. It still has 80% durability, which cuts the damage massively against this weapon. And since it's 100% explosive resistant, it means it goes straight to the main health pool and not the part at all. Add a legit weak point or draw 25 cards. The Epoch just does not benefit from this buff. It takes 2 full charge shots against the top turret to take it down, but if you're trying to finish off a Factory Strider, it can take several rounds to the face to kill it. And the reason why is because you're not landing the shot right. The main reason why is because you're hitting the head armor of the Factory Strider, which has a armor level of 5 and 100% durable, which makes it feel like you're killing a cow with a butter knife. Rather, you're gonna want to aim for the head body, which is the actual face of the Factory Strider, which takes only 3 shots to put him down. Also, I think the automatons are running out of ideas to trick Helldivers to join their side. Brother, you do not have the curve, sorry. Also, aim for the underbelly of the Factory Strider, just be a little careful. I would not, however, recommend this against something like the Vox engine. It has a lot of health, it has a lot of armor, which means matching durables half the damage, and then you have to deal with even more of the armored durability segment, which makes it just very ineffective here. In terms of demolition, it does take 2 shots to destroy a bot fabricator. unless you're aiming for the bot hole, which only takes 1. And definitely don't use it against heavy fabs, just aim for the hole if you have to, it has too much health. And this weapon is a absolute annihilator against motor emplacements and shredder turrets on the bot front. All it takes is 1 uncharged shot to destroy these. Moving on to the illuminate front, where I gotta say, I don't think I use the Epoch here that much, or even at all. And the base illuminate faction have only so much units that they can throw at you. Voteless, overseers, harvesters, flesh mobs, watchers. The overall frequency of enemies that get spawned on the illuminate front will kind of overrun this weapon if it doesn't have its proper spacing. Like, don't get me wrong, it can one-shot things like harvesters if you get the shot just right. If you're playing on sub-factions that have mindless masses, you're better off bringing something like the cremator, because unlike the bot front, they have way more rushdown units. Even the appropriator faction is just as bad. There's just so much shit flying at you that there's not too much places your Epoch could be even used. It didn't feel like an impressive counter against the mechs, especially on the appropriator faction. You also got to keep in mind that these velociraptors are also a rushdown unit as well, making it a little bit difficult to find a spot to reload or even fire. And the best part is the entire thing is 100% explosive resistant across the board, which means all of it goes straight to the main, which means you're going to be heavily relying on the ballistic projectile damage of this weapon. Which is even funnier when you consider the fact that this includes the overseer itself. The pilot's also 100% explosive resistant. I overall have to say personally for me, I would not use the Epoch here. There's just a lot of enemies that I need to keep up with. I mean, there's a reason why people call it the machine gun front. It's one of the few places where a lot of bullets are actually better. And while you could argue it's great for killing chaff units when they're in giant groups, the primary weapons of the plasma family do it better. Yeah, look, oh, well, there he goes. Moving on to the bug front, going up against the hive guards, it could kill it in 1 shot. Airhead, really, seriously, why AP4? The way to kill it didn't exactly change, but you did just, you know, offend every other medium pen weapon out there. This is an outdated clip, by the way. They already changed it. Similar to the bot front, if you use the Epoch on anything smaller than an Alpha Commander, they're all dead. So let's start with the Charger, which will take more than 1 shot to kill at the head. But there's a lot of ways to butcher a Charger. Take your Epoch and fully charge it and blast them right in the back. This opens up a weak spot where you could finish him off really easily with something like your primary. One of my favorite ways to kill a Charger is to blast them in the lake and then mag dump them with my primary. While going up against Battle Titans, it is going to take 2 shots to the face to guarantee their death. And since you actually have 3 shots, you can use 1 to actually disable its spewing ability, making it easier to kill them this way. This was also a great counter for Dragon Roaches. Just imagine it's fighting the Epoch right now. I didn't get any clips for it. But going up against a Spore Burst Titan, it's going to take way more shots to the face. So you might as well aim for it, squish your bits. It's just not worth it here. Oh, and we obviously can't forget the very obvious Impaler dies in 1 shot, no shit. It's like shooting a Shrieker with a missile pistol. If you're ever in an emergency where you need to destroy a bug hole, fortunately for you, Epoch can do that. Just don't use it to clear out the whole nest. Not the greatest demolition option, because if you're going up against Shrieker nest, it takes at least 3 shots, and that applies to Spore Spears as well. I have to say, Epoch is one of the strangest weapons I think we've ever gotten access to at Helldivers. Not being the best for anti-tank counter weapons, but it has to be one of the most flexible in the game, as you can use things like Guard Dog, Supply Pack, or some of the mobility options like Hover Pack that really help boost your weapon's capabilities. And I think one of my favorite combinations is with the War Bond item that it comes with. Nothing like an instant transmission to get away from danger that really helps Epoch reposition itself, which is also great for gaining distance if you need to pop a quick reload. Unless Arrowhead nerfs your ability to warp and reload, then whoops. RIP Lift 850. Oh man. But that is the end of the video. What do you guys personally think about the Epoch? Think it's good? Think it's bad? Does it even have a point? Should Tana yell Epoch louder?